Webb, and I'm running for District 7 City Council.
Please share your Detroit background and relationship to Detroit, your history of being a Detroiter.
Well, my mother had a home that I was brought up in off of Dexter and Elmhurst as a young child. And then she moved to Manor and Joy Road. And then I moved to Joy Road and Rutland. So I've always been in District 7 all my life, you might as well say. And I'm very active in the community. I first started the Joy Community Association, which is a nonprofit organization of block clubs and members of the residents in the community. And then I became the chair of Cody Rouge Neighborhood Partners, which is the leadership of other block club associations. And I also work with the Westtown Radio Patrol, Revive Detroit, which is an organization that is trying to help with housing in the community. I served as the president there for 2 years. And now I'm just a board member, but I still am very active with them.
Tell the story of what led you to run for office.
Well, I really saw that there wasn't a commitment to the community. When I would talk to our leadership in council and about certain things that I felt needed to be done in our community, things that I had hoped for, and found that it was falling on deaf ears, it really made me frustrated. So when I saw that the seat was open, I figured if I was going to make a difference from the inside, then I could probably make a bigger difference for the people in my community.
What is your understanding of the duties of the office you are running for?
Well, I sat on the City Planning Commission for 5 years. So a lot of the decisions that we made was moved over to City Council for, I guess you could say, a final decision. So a lot of times I believe I learned what to expect that would come across our table, even as a council member, just from being on that. I know that that's not all of the decisions that they made, but that is a small part of what they were actually actively involved in deciding. And I know that there are many other things, and I feel like I'm prepared for those things just from serving on that committee.
Are you familiar with and what is your position on the Detroiters' Bill of Rights?
I have heard of it. I'm not familiar with it, to be honest. I do know that I assumed that it was about things that Detroiters should have and should expect. I would think the water would be on it because the water is a big issue in our community. Many people were sadly turned off. And I know even in my own neighborhood, I saw those blue signs or blue markings, I should say, all throughout the community. And I remember a time that they used to give you like 3 months to pay your water bill. Now, that's not the case. If you go past a month, they're usually ready to shut you off.
What is your position on water shutoffs and water affordability in the city of Detroit?
Well, I must admit, I would love to be able to get rid of the authority because that, to me, makes a big difference. And that's when all the problems started, when we lost that. I don't have a plan for it, but I definitely would want to work on a plan for it. And another thing is that I know that our congresswoman actually got, I believe it was $1.5 million to be able to help people who were struggling with their water bills. I want to make it easily accessible for them to get that money when they need it.
How would you enhance Detroit's neighborhoods, and which neighborhoods would be your priority? Any specific one?
Cleanliness is the most important thing. And so I think that it's important that we try and make sure that once our neighbors do help out in cleaning, because that's the movement now. A lot of times each year we start out cleaning our communities, but I want to make sure that we have services that keep that up. Street cleaning used to be very important, and it lacked somewhere along the way. But I think it should be done at least once every 2 weeks, if not once a month.
What is your plan and position on abandoned properties like schools throughout the city of Detroit owned by the Land Bank Authority?
As far as the schools are concerned, I think it's important that we do have a plan of action for the schools. I would like to see it opened up to nonprofits and charter schools and anybody else who can maintain these school buildings so that they are not monstrosities in the community that are taking up space and basically um, it looks bad. It just looks bad. So I think it's necessary. They say that we don't have enough young people to be able to attend these schools. If that is true, then we should have something in the place of that. I know in my area for District 7, I've been fighting a long time to try and get a recreation center. We're the only district that does not have a recreation center in it. And that could have easily been rectified when they closed any one of those schools, but they chose not to do that. But I would definitely fight for that in my district too.
What's your definition of police reform? Do you feel it's needed in Detroit? If so, in what ways? What is your position on facial recognition technology?
I am concerned about facial recognition technology because of what I've heard about the fact that they so many times misidentify people. So I am not really in support of that. I am in support of cameras though for speeders that can take a picture of a car and maybe send a ticket to that car later. And that's because it is such a big problem with speeding in the community. Um, as far as police reform is concerned, I am interested in seeing training for police to be able to de-escalate problems that occur in a situation, so that it doesn't come to the point of death for someone or even injury. Many times I know the police do have a lot that they have to deal with, so consequently they are um, dealing with people who may have mental illness. Well, I think that it's important that they know how to handle that. And so to me, all of that is necessary. As far as funding for the police, I do think that there could be some cuts because they get, I believe, over a third of the income for the city. And to me, it just seems like there are some things that could be removed on the top end to be able to save on the expense of policing. And also, community policing could be a part of that, which would not cost much. So it's important to get nonprofits and community organizations involved. And why not pay them a small stipend for being involved?
What's your position on the repayment of residents who have been overassessed and overpaid property taxes?
Well, I definitely think that a plan needs to be in place, whether it be that people would end up getting future tax reduced until that amount that they overpaid has been taken care of. If that is not the case, then let there be some kind of projects or programs that are available for residents who have received that, especially those that have lost their homes. There should be, I know it used to be a plan in place where you could pay $1 for a house. Why not do that again? Why not have grants available? Get the banks involved to be able to finance these homes. Let them take care of helping those residents that still want to live here.
What do you see as the future of Detroit?
I am always positive about the future of Detroit because I think that Detroit has come back from so many things, especially the bankruptcy. And a lot of times I've heard people say the last one out cut out the lights. Well, I don't think it's going to ever be lights out in Detroit because I believe that we have done a great deal of making whatever necessary work in our communities. When we had all the fires that occurred, people were out there patrolling. When we had discussed how to clean up our communities, we had the Motor City cleanup where people, neighbors came together, and they've been doing it for years, came together for the purpose of making sure that Detroit is what we should be. And I believe the more we have pride in our city, the better it'll be.
Why should Detroiters vote for you?
Well, I'll put it like this: I am a proven power for the people. I have proven myself in all that I'm involved with that I am a leader, that I am someone who will do what is necessary to make a difference in our community. And I feel that not only representing my district is important, but representing all districts. Because on that city council, I know that decisions are not just made in my district. So you have to have a mindset to be able to uh, work not only with all people, but be able to make any kind of compromise or solutions that need to come in order to make what needs to happen. So I am dedicated to that because I want to see the best out of Detroit. I am happy to be here. I don't plan on going nowhere, whether I win or lose, but I'm hoping I win.